Hey, it's Mitch from PickDogs.com. I don't know where that came from. Hi, it's Mitch from PickDogs.com. I've got Jay, Chris, and Costi with us. God, everyone's all backwards here, man. I unbraided the bunch here. There we go. Monday, that's why. August 19th, 2024. 2 weeks down in the preseason. One to go. Pretty much can't wait for it to be over. Hate preseason. Week 0 of the NFL season, of college football season, which I got to tell you, originally I liked it. I'm gonna put it to shitty idea that is probably in the new playoff era going to get massacred to something that we've never seen before. And that's what happened originally. College football. Which somehow transitioned from 11 to 12 games, just massaged it right in. And then these guys get 13 games, right? If you play in week 0. So it's kind of like, it just so happens, it's like college football just kind of with no announcement and no anything went to a 12-game schedule. They just did it, right? It started with the Kickoff Classic. There used to be a game called the Kickoff Classic. Do you remember the Kickoff Classic? Any of you guys?
I do vaguely remember. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, so there was the Kickoff Classic. The first one was Penn State against Nebraska. Was the very first Kickoff Classic. The idea of the Kickoff Classic was teams that weren't going to play each other out of conference, teams that came from big conferences, and just one game. And they just had one game. It was the feature game every year. Penn State played Nebraska in the first one. I think Nebraska beat them about 638 to nothing. Something like that. It was before Nebraska was in the Big Ten. It was back when they were in the Big 8 or Big 12, whichever one it was at the time. And Penn State was in the Big 10. I know there was other games. I went to one of them. Miami played Ohio State. We were gigantic underdogs in that game and beat the living crap out of them in the Meadowlands. That was an awesome game. That was the one where kind of unleashed what would be the dynasty. It was game 1.
This back with the Tommy Frazier days?
The Nebraska one? It might have been the Tommy Frazier team. Yeah. Might have been that team. They played Penn State in the first Kickoff Classic. I know our Miami team that played Ohio State, which I believe was the last of the Kickoff Classics. That was our Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne team.
Clinton Portis.
Yeah, Nigel Davenport, Andre Johnson, Ed Reed, Dan Morgan.
Will Fork.
Yep. Goes on. Just absolutely stacked team. And Ohio State was favored in that game.
Dwayne Starks was there?
I don't know if Starks was in that one. Was on that team.
Yeah, because he got it. He was on the Ravens in 2001. So maybe not.
Because he was
Philip Buchanan. Philip Buchanan you had.
Yeah, we had that whole secondary. Philip Buchanan, Mike Rumpf, Blades, Al Blades. No, was it Al Blades? Yeah, on that one. It was all four guys from the secondary. Oh, and Ed Reed. All 4 guys from the secondary were first-round picks.
Right.
We had of that Miami team that played in that bowl, 17 of the starters in that game went first round.
Vilma.
Yeah, Vilma was in that game. Dan Morgan.
You forgot the best offensive lineman.
Bryant McKinney.
Mount McKinney.
Yep. Stacked.
Ken Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey on that team.
Who was the tight end on that team?
Bubba Franks was the starting tight end, but Jeremy Shockey was his backup.
Right.
They're loaded, man.
And then behind him was
I
don't think he was there. Winslow wasn't there.
Yeah, Kellen Winslow Jr. we had, I believe. Not sure who was exactly on that exact roster. That team was coming off of the worst Miami year that we had.
Right.
So we were terrible.
The running backs, the backups were McGahee and it was Portis, McGahee.
We had Portis, McGahee, and Gore one year.
And Gore, yeah.
That was pretty good backfield. Sean Taylor was Ed Reed's backup. Andre Johnson was Reggie Wayne's backup. Not a bad team.
No.
Not a bad team. Anyways, love my college football. We got Florida State, Georgia Tech is the bigger game. Chris, what's the other game? It's UNLV and or Nevada.
Yeah. Nevada SMU.
SMU. Rhett Lashley coaching those Mustangs at SMU. And you got
Florida State, Georgia Tech, and SMU, Nevada is week one.
Does Nevada still run the pistol?
Because
Chris Alt invented the pistol at
yeah,
Nevada.
no, ever since
I will say this.
Ken Wilson, I think it's Ken Wilson took over last year. I don't know if they are.
I will say this. Colin Kaepernick could run that pistol. He's seriously in that pistol offense. Kaepernick was freaking pretty amazing in that pistol offense. That was back when, we were live then. We had we were up and live on the internet at that time. Those were the days. Running the pistol. I think that was like our first year. Kaepernick running the pistol at Nevada.
Ran it well.
Yeah, he was great at it. He was great at running the pistol. Oh, man. How's WNBA treating you guys?
Doing all right.
Yeah, I had a good day with it yesterday.
Me too. I was mad. You ever type up an article, have it completely written out, and then you go to check and be like, oh yeah, that was a good win, and just didn't put it in.
Oh, I do it all the time. I have them like where I do them here, while I'm on the show, where I just didn't hit submit.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. I had the fever, bro. I had it all typed up, and I guess I just didn't hit submit on that one. But we did cash the other one, luckily, with the Sparks. Shout out to them. They caught the back door, 16 and a half, lost by 16. So you draw it up.
Had it all the way. That's called a no doubt.
Well, there was a push on that one for me. I think it's at 16.
Oh, okay. I had 16 and a half.
It's called a no doubter, Chris.
So shout out.
I grade the women's basketball. I just kind of do it with whoever really covered. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think I've had like 3 or 4 winning days. I had a bad Saturday though, so it kind of happens. But trying to put the piece together. A winning day yesterday would have been a monster day if Jimenez for the goddamn A's don't blow up in extras or late. I forgot if it was extras or late, but yeah. So money making Monday, start of a new week. Football's here. No more weekends with no football.
But it's still, I gotta say, week 0 to me is it's bad. It
is bad, but
it's a bad thing, man. It's
we're
like
here, though.
But this should be the week. Like if you're gonna play, it should be the only week. Like everybody should be allowed to play it, if they want to play it. But it should be the only week that if you're a Division I FBS school, it should be the only week that you're allowed to play an FCS school. It should be the only one. If they made week 0 that week, because Miami plays an FCS school every 3 years. They play Bethune-Cookman, and they'll play a couple of them here and there. But teams like Alabama play them every year, in Florida, Alabama. And a bunch of these other schools, they play them every year, which is fine. But have it as a week 0 where it's, an extra game added on. I understand for Florida A&M to go to Gainesville and play Florida, you know how much money they get to do that as that school? It's like the most money their athletic program earns the entire year. So we don't want to take that away from those guys, right? We want, they'll put that money into the basketball team. We'll bet against them on Monday nights. It's like, this is part of what we do, It's like, we've been doing that for years. Fridays and Mondays. Chris, you ever do a Florida A&M video? College basketball? It's like, this is what we do, right? So it's like, Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M. It's like, we cover this stuff. And, so it's not horrible, but I think it should be isolated to week 0. And then if you have a Florida State, Georgia Tech, or whatever the case may be, Nevada against Who are they playing against?
SMU.
SMU. Have those games as well, but have the option that if you're going to play an FCS team, that you do it in week 0. How's that?
And logically, it makes sense, but we all know that they're never going to have logic.
Well, because the SEC in week 11 or week 12 every year, they have to have that patsy week before rivalry week. They do it every single year, man.
Every year. Yep.
They do it every single year.
Auburn will play Mercer before the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what they'll do.
How is that setting you up for a run? Playing a team like I just don't. That makes no sense. Do it early, like you guys said. Do it early.
I mean, Oregon always plays a team like that, like Cal Poly or something, don't they? Oh, this year it's called Ohio State, but normally they play like Cal Poly.
A little different this year.
No, Oregon's house Ohio State. I mean,
they're really good. Oregon's really good. Well, now they have all that money they can spend.
They played at Ohio State 2 years ago. They beat, or was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? The last time they played. I mean, they went to Ohio State to the Horseshoe. They'd still be scoring touchdowns if they didn't run out of time. I mean, they scored every single time they had the ball. They scored, I think, what they put up 60 or 70 on them. They hung up like a 70 number on them at Columbus. They could not stop him. That Anthony Brown, the guy who's the quarterback, the backup, third string, or whatever, him. They could not stop him. It was like the same guys that Colorado couldn't stop, those same running back. Bucky, whatever his name was.
Imagine the meeting Phil Knight's having where they announce NIL's legal. He's like, really? I could spend money and bring guys to Eugene?
Still hard to get guys to go there.
They're getting more guys, though. They're getting a lot of big recruits now.
Well, they've always had a lot of big recruits, but
but now they're getting more. They could pay them.
Like I'm looking at it now. Alabama plays Mercer the second last week of the year before they go to Oklahoma. Before they go to Oklahoma to finish the season.
Are you saying that's a Mill?
They're not playing the Iron Bowl the last
game right there?
Sorry. I have the schedule zoomed in a little too much yet. No, they play Oklahoma before the Iron Bowl.
All right.
Arkansas is getting it out of the way with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Auburn.
I like Pine Bluff in that one.
Yeah, Alabama A&M playing Auburn in week 1.
Hey, they're tricky.
Yeah. Florida plays Samford week 2.
You know it. They'd play Samford every week if they could. Well, we played someone like that week 2 also. We play like Bethune-Cookman or something.
Yeah. Georgia doesn't have one.
No?
No. The closest thing they have is UMass in the second last week of the year. But
they don't play Arkansas State or Western Kentucky?
No, they have they're sorry, I lied. Tennessee Tech in week 2.
There you go.
Yeah. Throw them in there.
I was disappointed.
Kentucky's got Murray State. LSU has
I like Tennessee Tech plus the points in that one against Georgia.
LSU has
We'll be getting about 65.
Ole Miss is Furman.
Furman's tough, man. Furman can be tough.
Eastern Kentucky plays Mississippi State.
Eastern Kentucky's no pushover. I like them in that one too.
Missouri plays Murray State.
The best club meds at Murray State.
Oklahoma might have the funniest one of all of them. They play Maine on November 2nd.
At home or in Maine?
No. Oklahoma.
You think Oklahoma's going for a wine tour when they go play the Maine Black Bears? Come on.
Oklahoma, Michigan, and Florida play 4 games on the road max a season, man.
Yeah.
Those are like the wimpiest of the programs. They play like 4 games max.
They play 5. They play 5 road games. They play at Auburn, at Texas, at Ole Miss, at Missouri, and at LSU to finish.
Because they're SEC. And what about Florida?
Florida's got...
But no out of conference on the road.
No. Florida plays at Mississippi State, at Tennessee, Georgia's neutral, at Texas, and
I think the SEC
at Florida State.
I think SEC expanded their conference schedule, right? So they're at Doak this year, Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in Tallahassee.
Because we play them there. We play them in the swamp.
Yeah,
Whip their ass in the swamp. Gonna be like
Texas
third quarter.
Texas opted to go no FCS in their first.
Texas actually plays Michigan at Michigan. Of course, Michigan would never go on the road. And Texas,
but Texas also plays UTSA and UL Monroe.
Yeah, but that's but
UTSA
that's
nice.
Which is okay.
UTSA
okay.
Nice. UTSA nice. Monroe.
I'm just saying those are the non-conference games they're playing.
Yeah, but that's okay because one of their non-conferences is Michigan, right? So at least they play one.
I know. Yeah.
Like us, our non-conference this year is actually pretty soft. We play South Florida, who's not horrible. We play Bethune-Cookman or something, and then we play at Florida.
Yeah,
you know, it's like which doesn't seem like it's going to be that hard of a game for us, but you know, it's an in-state rivalry. It's kick the dog shit out of those guys. Miami 65, Florida 3.
On the road.
Yep. It'd be like select a seat day in the third quarter. It'd be like the Willis McGahee game. One of my favorite games I ever went to in my whole life. At the swamp. It was packed, man. They were ranked. I think Florida was ranked number 1. Come out of the tunnel, the swamp. They're going crazy, going nuts. By the third quarter, man, it was empty. It was select a seat day. And Willis McGahee was still just chomping up 12, 15 yards of pop. I mean, they could not stop it.
Who y'all like to win some of these conferences?
Miami to win the ACC.
Shocker.
I'm taking a long shot on Missouri to win the SEC.
Luther Burden.
Brady Cook.
Let Brady Cook.
I like Georgia to win the SEC.
Revenge season.
I just don't see anyone that Missouri has to play where it's the only 2 tough games they have are at Texas A&M and at Alabama.
You think they're going to beat Georgia?
I'm just saying I don't know if Georgia goes 7-1 or something. They get edged out. I don't know. I mean, they hung around with Georgia last year. They only lost to them by 9.
282 carries.
I like Penn State win the Big Ten.
This was Willis McGahee's numbers that year. His numbers that year were he had 282 carries for 1,753 yards and 28 touchdowns. Nice little day at the office. One of those games was at Florida. Monster day. God, what were the stats on that Florida game? Let's see what he actually ran. Here we go. Game logs. At Florida, here it is. 24 carries, 204 yards. Wow. He didn't even score a touchdown in that game. 24 carries, 204 yards. That's 8.5 yards of pop. Like all day, man. We just gave him the ball every single play. Like, it was so ugly.
The more and more I look at it, man, I'm taking my shot on Kansas State, man. I got to do it.
Because you're a video game player, man. Not a college football player.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out.
For the Madden championship or whatever.
No, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Look.
Based over on
there,
what?
Over there, we got Utah, Oklahoma State.
Utah is
Kansas and Arizona. I don't know, man. I think
Kansas State is always good, but they always lose like a really stupid one, like Kansas.
Aren't they like? But didn't they just do it like 2 years ago? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, they've done it a million times, but never to that top level. Never to. Like,
I think
they beat Oklahoma all the time. They do all these great things. Then
stay
they'll
here.
lose to Kansas, man, or TCU. They freaking lose these like ridiculous games. They do it all the time. They lost TCU, right? Last game of the season, or was it TCU lost to Kansas State? One of those. Two teams, same colors, purple and silver. It's a bad day, man. You just want to stay away from that. It's the color rule. It's Auburn Syracuse all over again, man. 10-10 tie. Bad.
I think
bad for the sport.
They got two running backs back there, man, with Giddens and Edwards. I like the, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna be able to run the football with their quarterback, the receiver.
Those guys are nothing compared to what like some of these other teams got, man.
Nah,
take a look at our running back room. You'll see what an NFL running back.
I got a nice running back room. I got
an NFL running back room, man.
I got a nice running
track
back room.
team.
You know what I mean? I like Georgia's running back, ETN. I can't believe nobody talked about how he just upped and left Florida and went to Georgia. Like,
everyone up and left Florida. They stopped paying.
Saying, but no, that's crazy.
Their booster program. Georgia was paying big in the offseason. They got our wide receiver also. I mean, Georgia was paying big. So it was like, we'd let him go because we'd rather redistribute the money. We got a better quarterback. We upgraded at running back. So it's like we had to let him go because we grow speed on trees. We have other wide receivers that can run. So we had to let him go. But it's like our top receiver went to Georgia. And so did Etienne went to Georgia because they were paying big. And so if Rashada signs on your team, that means you're paying gigantic money because he's the only guy in the history of this NIL that has actually come out and said how much money he was making because he has the lawsuit. And that is, as a high school senior who had never played down in college football, it's $13.1 million signing bonus. That was the number, right? That was the number for Rashada. That's the number, man. Georgia signed him.
Last thing I was going to say is for the Big 12, I got to take the flyer just for the bit, man. For the bit. Hashtag coming.
Oh, gonna get run over, man.
I bought you a sweatshirt yesterday. I didn't realize they had it at Sporting Goods.
I don't even think they're gonna make a bowl game again.
We come. We're back, baby. We're back. I can't wait.
You can win a conference championship at 4-8.
Is there a first half champion? Like they get out the gate usually well.
The first half champions usually Michigan because they played Colorado State 4 times. I mean, I'm not really sure, Florida and them, but this year Michigan plays Texas and Florida plays Miami. They're both at home, though. They're both at home, but they'll be home dogs in both those games. I don't know if Michigan will be a dog against Texas, but Florida is definitely a dog against Miami. Michigan, I'm not sure what they have this year. They have a lot of guys that make a lot of money, and they play all their games at home because they get a hell of a lot of good calls there, a hell of a lot. I love that Florida game that I went to, but of course the other game that I went to that was also one of my all-time favorites was the Michigan-Miami game at Michigan, down by 16, 4.5 minutes left to go. They had the ball and freaking called the defensive timeout and beat them. It was like Bo Schembechler had a heart attack on the field. It was the last game I believe he ever coached. All he could mutter into the mic was, "It was an ungodly set of circumstances." It was, man. Got the onside kick on him. It was like, oh no. Because the announcer, the guy have the replay of the tape. And there's like 4.5 minutes left to go. Jimmy calls timeout. He's like, or Al Troutwood comes in from the thing saying, well, UCLA plays. And it's like, now that Miami has lost, and Keith Jackson goes back and he goes, Al, this game is far from over. Man, mad. That's when they dropped us from their schedule too. We used to play them. They dropped us from the schedule. 25 minutes in. Let's get to some games. I know how our audience gets. And how y'all get all on Mitch in the comments.
Get a little moody.
And Mitch waited 25 minutes. What the hell? We're here for picks. Wow. It's like,
Friday was rough.
why? Oh, 2 hours and 16 minutes?
So I was playing on Saturday morning, and I realized, why are my thighs extremely sore? And then it took me like 30 seconds to figure out that I had done 4 minutes of unbroken jumping jacks.
I don't even remember what the argument was.
It wasn't an argument. I was waiting for you guys to just.
No, me and Jay had an argument.
Oh,
I can't remember even what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. I do remember it, but I don't remember it.
I think was it the Dak Prescott discussion?
Yes.
No, it was about
no. What? Who do you guys like?
It was something about college. Oh, we were arguing how many L's could Miami take to get into the playoffs.
Oh, that's right. 0. 0.
And then Costi was like trying to not fall asleep. He's like, I need to wake up and do some jumping jacks for the duration until it's argument.
Then started doing them, and I figured at that point, okay, they're gonna end it because they see this pain, and I kept like hinting this isn't gonna last long. And then I expected to go for maybe 2 minutes, and then it just not only was I dead.
All of this is one giant. That's what she said. I thought I could go for 2 minutes, and then the pain started. I thought they would see this pain happening.
Kept going.
And I kept going, and I was spent after that. My thighs started to hurt. And all this time, we were talking about you doing jumping jacks.
All right, let's do it. We've got the Diamondbacks and the Marlins. We've got the Blue Jays and the Reds. It's the Kevin Gausman show. And we got the Metropolitans taking on the Orioles. Jay, 26 minutes and 30 seconds in. We're getting to the picks.
I'm gonna take give me the Diamondbacks. Probably as a parlay piece. I would lean run line, but I'm not chasing a run line. So I'll probably just put Los Serpientes in as a parlay piece. This is a style series. I'm expecting them to sweep. This is a style series. I'm expecting them to close the gap, and continue to be who they've been the second half of the season. One of the best, if not the best team in baseball. So no sexy pick for me here, not overcomplicating it. Give me Los Serpientes in that one behind Brandon Pfaadt. No pitcher for the Marlins, but it don't even matter to me. We got Blue Jays and the Reds. No pitcher for the Reds currently, but we got Gausman on the bump. I would take the Reds, man. I know they lost 3 in a row. It's kind of makes me a little nervous. We know what's up with the Reds. They're a team that stacks wins and stacks L's. I've said this about this team all season long. So I am a little nervous taking them, and they're coming off a homestand now on the road. It's not really a great, sexy spot. It's not. But the Blue Jays, they've been overrated, overvalued all season long. They're coming home off a pretty significant homestand. This game shouldn't be minus 175. I think this is a more 50-50 style game, and I want to attack the plus money with the Reds, and hopefully they can end their losing woes today. And then Mets-O's. This is a game where I think you see the Mets as this style favorite for good reason. Is going to be my argument, bro. Trevor Rogers is ass. He's ass. I can go for the argument that he pitched well in certain spots for the Marlins. He was on the Marlins, you know what I mean? But I'm the same guy that tells you there's guys that are winners and don't be pitching the best baseball, guys like Bayo, but just somehow the team wins behind him. And then there's guys like Rogers, where even if he pitches well, like his team just somehow loses the damn game. I'm not mad at nobody if they were to give me the argument. I'm going to attack the plus money in a 50-50 style game with the better team, the O's. I wouldn't necessarily be mad at the argument. I see the path. I think they lose today, though. I think the O's lose today. I think the Mets still in playoff hunt, on the outside looking in, don't have much room for error. They got to win their winnable spots, and this is a winnable spot for them in this series. Give me Mets today. I'll just lay the minus 145.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm actually seeing TBD on both sides for Diamondbacks, Marlins, but I'll still lean towards Arizona.
I see 5
on the run.
You see 5?
I saw FOP before, but I don't know. I'm seeing TBD right now. But
yep, MLB.com's got TBD.
I mean, I'll still lean towards the Diamondbacks. I don't love the price in that game for sure. But I think Arizona found something.
What'd they find?
A kick in the ass in that series against Tampa Bay. I mean, they fell short.
They rallied.
Yeah. But I just think this is just a mismatch right here. So give me the Diamondbacks in that one. I'm going to take a shot on the Reds here only because I'm with Jay at the price. I don't. If this price was closer to minus 125, I'd maybe take a shot on the Jays because the Jays have been winning Kevin Gausman starts. But at minus 170, he still has an ERA just under 6 at home. I don't love the Blue Jays bullpen. I think Cincinnati wakes up here. And just getting him at this price, I think it's just too good for me to pass on. So give me the Reds. And I'm going to take a shot on the Orioles. I feel that the Orioles are a slightly better team here. Rogers has stunk since being acquired by Baltimore, but there's a lot of key bats that Roger obviously has experience facing the Mets a lot from his time in Miami. But there's a lot of key bats that have struggled against Rogers in their careers. I mean, Alonso 3 for 20 against Rogers. Francisco Lindor 4 for 18. Nimmo 4 for 16. I mean, this year Rogers faced the Mets once. 2 runs, 1 earned over 4 2/3 innings of work. Not terrible. And the Orioles have been better against lefties over the last little bit. So just based on getting the plus money here with one of the better road teams in baseball, I'm going to take a shot on the Mets here, or excuse me, on the Orioles here at plus money.
Dipshit. All right, Costi.
Yeah, I don't. Arizona, Miami. There's no starters there. I mean, I didn't even have it on my board. So until there's starters listed, I can't run the analytics. So I'm gonna have to take a pass on that. I mean, it's completely blind. Regardless, of Arizona. I would have possibly taken Arizona on the run line here. If Bott is the actual starter, but I don't see anything in there. So I'm going to pass. And then on Toronto, Cincinnati, Cincinnati, like Jay said, this is the spot that you fade them. When they're cold, you just keep fading them until there's a break game. I'm not a big fan of Gausman, especially at 170 at home. Toronto has been playing better ball of late. They're not that far off from the Reds altogether. I mean, they only have 2 less wins than the Reds. So it's not like the Reds are anything potential that could scare me from taking the run line here. I'll do Toronto on the run line. This wasn't a big game that I really liked on the board today. I didn't embed it, but if I were to take the game, definitely Toronto on the run line. And then kind of what Ruffalo said here, the stats, if you look at the Baltimore Mets game, and I've faded Baltimore a lot this year. I'm a fan of the team, but I'm a bigger fan of the money. Rogers has been terrible. He was terrible in Miami. He had 1 good start for the Orioles. Peterson actually behind him, even with the no decisions. The Mets have been winning games, but I like the plus money with the Orioles here. Their bats are hot. They have been hitting lefties a lot better of late. Statistically, you would look at this game and say Rogers is going to get rocked and Peterson is going to pitch a decent game. But I just think Baltimore's a better team at this current state. And with Holiday hitting as well as he has, Gunnar Henderson got out of the slump. Has been playing well. They hit home runs, and I think they're going to get the Peterson. Both the bullpens give up a lot of runs. I think it's going to be a closer game, but I'd rather have the plus money in my pocket as a 50-50 game, regardless of Rogers on the mound. If he could get a good 4 or 5 innings in there, give up 3-4 runs, I'll be okay with that. I like the plus price on the Orioles.
I'm going for the Mets on the Jovan Burt's extendo clip here. I'm going to lay 3.5 runs in this one, probably lay even more. This is just a really horrible game. I know Rodgers has good numbers against a lot of these Mets hitters, but the Orioles are just freaking pathetic, man. This team is a great fade all the way home. Might as well get the plus money on it. These guys are going absolutely nowhere fast. They're absolutely clueless as they throw out Dean Kramer for tomorrow's big game. I mean, these guys just have no idea what it takes to get across the finish line. They have no leadership in the front office and no leadership on the bench. They got nowhere to go but down, and they are in a bad, bad spot against a Mets team that absolutely needs it and has the much better pitcher and has some pretty hot hitters going at it too. The Orioles, which just shows you that they have no heart and no guts whatsoever. They're the worst underdog in all of baseball. In fact, they've lost their last 6 in the underdog role, and they've been run-lined in all of them. And I think they get run-lined here today and run over by a freaking truck. They absolutely are the most overrated sack of crap, and Jay's Rangers exposed them for exactly what they were last year. And I think last year's team was better than this year's team, man. This year's team is just a bunch of guys that are expected to be given to them. They're like entitled. Jay, let's serve them up a participation trophy because I know you're with me on this one. Anyways, I'm going to take, in case you didn't guess, I'm taking the Metropolitans in that one. I like the I think the Marlins-D-backs is a tough one. The D-backs, with no starting pitcher, is going to be a little tough. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to get the ball over the plate, and the same with the Marlins, but it's going to be interesting. This game could take a while with nobody pitching, but eventually I think that somebody will manage to cross the plate. I'm just not sure who it's going to be. The Diamondbacks, they battled back in 2 of those games against the Rays in the end of the game to get to extra innings and lost them both. I mean, that play at the plate in the extras where the Diamondbacks got thrown out of the plate, I mean, at least try. At least act like you're trying or think about it or commit to going home. I mean, you go back and forth like this and then you walk. I mean, what are you doing, man? It's like, why bother? That guy should be thrown off the team. Taking the Blue Jays and Gausman also, just for spite alone. Jay?
Next lap.
Participation trophy for the Orioles, man. They gotta be. They're the Brock Purdy's of the frickin' Major League Baseball. I mean, just the most overrated, just do nothings, man. Especially with the chips on the table. Other than that, it's Texas against Pittsburgh. We've got the Astros against the Red Sox, and Kansas City here going against the Angels. Chris, take her away.
All right, I'm going all home teams in this one. I'm going to go with the Rangers on the money line. I don't trust either one of these teams, but I trust the Mets. Oh yeah, I'm still stuck on that last thought. I trust.
You want the Mets today, bro. That's your
heart.
No, I
guts,
really,
man.
That's your subconscious feeling to get off the Mo's today.
I'm still stuck on the argument that the Mets are a playoff team.
You love both those teams. You love the Mets. You love the Orioles, man.
I used to love the Mets, and then I realized that they're not. They're going nowhere fast. So
whoa.
I trust the Rangers lineup more than I trust Pittsburgh's to produce. Because the Rangers
maybe you're a little too trustworthy. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, maybe I trust rather easily, and I always end up getting my heart broken. The Rangers have had the names in the lineup; they just haven't, had the bounces go their way. But I trust Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia to be able to produce. They salvaged something from their series against the Twins on Sunday. Maybe they carry that confidence over here. So give me the Rangers. I take the Astros against the Red Sox. I know the Red Sox are one of the better road teams in baseball, and they got to Kikuchi as a Blue Jay earlier this season. But I think the change of scenery's helped Kikuchi. The Astros have won each of his last 3 starts. The Red Sox are really struggling with lefties. Just pull up the numbers here. In their last 10, they're hitting just 192 against lefties. So I think the Astros get it done here. The Red Sox 0-5 and Houck's 5 starts since the All-Star break. So give me the Astros and give me the Royals on the run line against the Angels. the Angels struggling against rights. I think they're dead last in batting average in the last 10 games against right-handed pitching. Lugo stunk in his last few starts, but this is a nice bounce back spot for him. The Royals getting back at home. They just kicked the crap out of the Reds, and now they're back home where they play their better baseball. Give me the Royals on the run line.
I don't have a pitcher for Texas as well, so I didn't have that one on my board. I'll pass on that with no starting pitcher. I'm with Roof there. Houston, one of the hottest teams right now. We always know end of August, September, this is when they heat up. As good as Boston has been on the road, Houston at home, their relievers play a lot better. I think the change of scenery for Kikuchi has been the reason for his success of late. I mean, I know it's not a big sample size, but he's been pitching really well. They've won both the starts with him at the mound. Houston just playing better ball. And, the Red Sox just split a series with the O's. Now they're heading to Houston, which it's going to be another tough one for them. Houston's red hot, 9-1. Give me the run line there. I think it's one of my favorite games on the board. Tanner Houck's been getting absolutely lit up over the last month. So all over Houston in the run line. And then in the last one with Roof as well, Kansas City on the run line. This is one of the best teams in baseball right now over the last month. I really like the way that they're playing. They just swept Cincinnati on the road. And I think going home where they play better and their relievers play a lot better, I just like this game where I could get Lugo 5-6 consistent innings, then get into the setup men, and they'll be able to put the Angels away. The Angels have been absolute ass. They've been getting absolutely destroyed and not getting destroyed. I mean, the last game was close against Atlanta, but outside of that, they've been getting lit up. So Kansas City on the run line for me.
I'll take the under in that. I'll take the under in that Royals Angels. I think I don't know, man. I'm still less than sold on the Angels this year. I mean the Royals. I just don't love the bullpen. I think they're a good team. I had them yesterday, but it doesn't mean I have to take them today. I think Lugo is starting to wear down a little bit as the season goes on, as we often see the guys that get moved to the starting rotation. Carson Fulmer hasn't been all that terrible. He's had bad days at the office, but no more than Lugo. I don't know. It's going to be a shitty one. The Pirates, man, when they start losing, that last road trip was so uninspiring, man. I just got to take the Rangers in this one. It was just so bad. The Pirates have really played well against the Rangers over the years and over time, but not feeling it right now. Not the way we saw the Pirates play on the road on that last road trip. They were terrible. Just really about as bad as we've seen them play all season long. So I just can't get there, even though we saw the Rangers, the good, right? They got the extra inning win yesterday. The bad, they gave up the ninth inning run to force the extra innings, right? So it's like, this is just been part of the problem. And like Costi said, one of the few times I'll agree with him when it comes to Major League Baseball, Tanner Houck has been in a little bit of a regression lately. 2 runs last time against the Rangers and 1 against the Astros. But both those games were at Fenway Park. The last time we saw him on the road, and it happened to be in Texas, but it was the other Texas against the Rangers. He gave up 6 runs in 5 innings of work. He got tattooed. So I'll go with the Astros. Jay?
This is a slide. Everybody already knows what I'm doing. There's no surprise here for me. I'm fading the Astros, of course. Hashtag love that dirty water. Dum, dum, dum. Fuck the Astros, man. I'm just over them, bro. I am. Y'all don't got to follow me down this path. You don't.
We're not.
And that's perfectly fine. But for all the Astros love, bro, this is a legitimate 50-50 game between two 50-50 teams.
It's a legitimate team that's come from 10 games back and has a 5-game lead in the division. That's what legitimately they are.
Yeah.
And realistically, I know you'll badmouth me. You always say,
know,
"Oh, let's be honest," right? That's another thing. Let's be honest here. But let's be honest, man.
Okay,
they were 10 down.
I could also make the argument that the Red Sox are in the toughest division in baseball.
But they're not, because the numbers don't bear that out.
I can make that argument over there with the O's and the Yankees. So,
but the numbers don't bear it out this season. That it is the toughest division is the in the American League. It's the American League Central, which is why they have 2 teams in the wild card, and especially we're playing a balanced schedule this year. And then also in the National League, the National League West is a beast.
Actually, it would not be that. It would be the American League East, where all 5 teams are near 500. The Central, I mean, even the Tampa Bay Rays have a better record than the Detroit Tigers. So no, it's the American League East, like I was saying.
3 teams in the playoffs at the season.
Baltimore, New York, Boston, and Tampa over Cleveland, Minnesota, Kansas City, Detroit. I'm taking the East every day of the week. Every day of the week. They're in the tougher division. And so the Astros, I gave them credit all season long. I'm the same guy that told y'all they were going to be here. I told y'all the Astros were going to be here. I'm just fading them because now they're starting.
Fading them though for the last month over this entire run that they've had.
On the show, but premium wise, I kind of have been picking my spots. I really only fade them for real when Eric Getty's on the mound. But I think every day is worth a look, and especially in a series like this where Astros kind of comfortable, Red Sox still on the outside looking in. The Red Sox still have to get shit done. And in a 50-50 game like this, Tanner Houck, has he pitched his best? No, he hasn't. But I'm not going to sit here and act like Kikuchi is just, the end all be all.
You just said his shit doesn't stink.
Okay.
It doesn't stink. It doesn't stink, but he's not the end all be all. This is a very winnable game and a very winnable series for the Boston Red Sox, man. I have to attack the plus money in this one today.
If we're looking at that logic, where you're only looking at the top 3 teams in the division, which is what we just did. If we're discounting
do 4.
No, hold on, no. But I'm saying, hold on, because we discounted the Rays and the Jays. We're talking about the Orioles, Red Sox, and the Yankees. The Central is the only division of the 3 where all 3 teams have a 70% chance or better at making the playoffs. Yeah, the Royals and the Yankees.
What about the National League West?
The Royals are not going to.
I'm saying in the American.
No, he said in baseball. He said
in baseball. No, in baseball, the NL West has 3 teams that are above 87% to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
fair, but I think this is my assumption. The Red Sox are getting in. The Royals are popping out of there, and I'm going to break down the Royals here in a hot second. Let me break it down for y'all why I think that. I'm the same person who told you I'm expecting regression from the Royals, but the Royals have had a really light schedule coming out of the All-Star break. Let me just let you guys in on the coming up schedule for the Royals. They got the goddamn Phillies coming up. After the Phillies, they got the Guardians coming up. After the Guardians, they got the Astros coming up. Them 3 series, I can see them all dropping quickly. After that, guess who they got coming up after that? Oh, they got the Guardians again. After the Guardians, guess who they got? They got the goddamn Twins. After the Twins, guess who they got? They got the Yankees. So it's not going to be pretty here for the Royals. It's not. So I think it's a legitimate shot these boys pop up out of there. And when it comes to the Red Sox, bro, watch out, man. # love that dirty water. So I've been kind of projecting this out for a second. And I'm still sticking to the same thing I've been saying. I think the Red Sox getting in. I think the Royals are popping out. Royals are a year away. Now, it's only fair for me to go through the Red Sox schedule too. Red Sox don't have the easiest schedule either. They got the Astros this series. They got the hottest team in baseball coming up with the Diamondbacks. But then they got the Blue Jays. Then they got the Tigers. 2 very winnable series. After that, they got the Mets. That's going to be a very winnable 2 tough series between 2 teams on the outside looking in, trying to get in. But then they got the White Sox. Then they got the O's. Then they got the Yankees. Then they got the Rays. So it's going to be a pretty tight race to the finish. But I think for shit show, the Royals is 2 times tougher than what the Red Sox have. And both teams sitting at a pretty similar record. I think the AL American League East is going to be the team with 3 teams in the postseason. That's just how I see it shaping out. And I just broke it down to y'all. If y'all going to sit here and just say that was emotional, You can say that, but I don't think it was. I think that was pretty eloquently broke down. And today, I think the Royals have a legitimate shot to lose this game against the Angels. Now, does that say I'm rushing to the window to bet the Angels today? No, not necessarily. But you know what I mean? They did play well against the Reds, but at plus 200, I don't think that they're deserving of minus 240 today, is what I will say. So maybe take the Angels plus the 1.5, and you're still getting plus money there. Do your line shopping, you could probably get like plus 110.
I'd take that. I'd like plus 240, plus 1.5 also. Same thing.
So yeah, and then my Rangers, no starting option today. Maybe it's going to be Cody Bradford.
Tomorrow.
I saw some. I was trying to go through Twitter or read some tea leaves. They may move him up today. I don't know. But yesterday was a hell of a gut win. I actually watched that entire game. That was a gut win. You know, yesterday kind of gave me the fuzzy feeling like, oh man, this is the Rangers.
Blowing the lead in the ninth inning is a fuzzy feeling, Jay. I mean,
but to be fair, that was his first one of the season. So if you're going to tell me that your closer is going to give
up, but how does blowing the lead in the ninth inning give you a fuzzy feeling?
Because we were down. What were we down 4-0, and then here comes the run. Adolis with the home run. Then Young comes back with the home run, and then when it matters most, it wasn't the prettiest play, but Young grounds it out. Adolis with the hard base running for the win. It just kind of gave me a fuzzy feeling. It did. I'm just being real. I'm just telling you how it happened. Coming into the series here against a Pirates team that's also been struggling. I'm not saying my Rangers are going anywhere. I told you I pretty much put the fork in the season. But
I mean, is this a fork that you could take the fork out, or it's
a fork that it could be pulled out. It could definitely
wave the white flag. Can you wave the white flag?
No, I'm not waving the white flag. I'm just,
it's okay.
It's like when you're at the dinner table, you're full. You still got a little bit on your plate, and you're like,
that's when you throw up. That's not healthy.
Nah, it's not a throw up. It's like, man, this is probably one of the best meals I've had. Am I done yet, or do I take it home?
Did you enjoy the meal because you're so stuffed? No, you're regretting half the choices you made.
The fat lady hasn't sung quite yet. It ain't over.
So you're not waving the white flag?
No. Not with
we'll give it another week. We'll give it another week.
The
guys are coming back from injuries.
Especially with how light the schedule is in September. The schedule in September is kind of light. We got a lot of Angels. We got some White Sox. We got some Mariners. We got some Blue Jays.
So you're like the guy that's running the 1,500 meters in the Olympics, and you just stay in the back of the pack until the last lap, and that's when you turn it on. That's what you're saying. You're pacing. Basically, you're saying the Rangers have been pacing all season until September. They knew they had a light schedule.
I'm just saying. I think if you were to give me a lie detector test right now today and say who I think wins the division, I would say Astros.
Oh, I thought you said almost Rangers.
But I would also say there was also a part of me that would say I think there's legitimately still a chance the Rangers could pull it off. I'm taking them today. I can't wait till the Royals fall.
The sad thing is, I believe you. If you took a lie detector test, you still believe the Rangers could win the division.
Yeah, odds that the Royals win 90 games or plus 170. That the Red Sox win 90 or plus 800. For the Royals to make the playoffs, minus 260. For the Red Sox to miss the playoffs, minus 260.
Odds don't mean
everything you need to know.
Tells you
everything. The Red Sox are going to win. The Red Sox are going to finish 500.
They're wrong on the daily.
Red Sox are going to finish 500.
The computerized system set a number doesn't move the needle for me. It doesn't.
The Red Sox are going to finish 500.
Okay.
Get the Reggie Miller meme ready.
Okay. Red Sox getting in, baby. And they probably gonna be the team to knock off the O's, and that'd be it. Oh my God, that'd be the most hilarious shit on the planet. That's what you should be doing for your O's. Choke artist.
I feel the Red Sox coming.
Guys keep saying that. New ownership. There's it's a refreshing feeling over here, Baltimore, Maryland.
Gonna get smoked.
Okay.
I
can't say you're
not,
wrong.
I would not.
I'm
have
not
your
saying
hopes
you're
up.
wrong, but when I have low expectations, that's why I don't argue that, because
Sound like you have
right in
high
everything you're saying.
expectations. You
I have
laid
low
4.5 runs with Corbin Burns on Friday. How'd
So
that
what?
work
Is we have
out for
one
you?
bad
And
outing
you have,
all season. That's
you
just one bad outing.
You like them
all
today against the Metropolitans, you're gonna get jacked. I don't. I see that as delusional, Briggs-like expectations. Avalanche going all the way this year, man.
To be fair, I've only had like one bad projection, and that was Colorado. All the other ones have pretty much been money since I've been here.
The Cowboys weren't a good projection.
I mean, we won the division last year.
What does that get?
I mean, we lost in the first round. I mean, I did. You know what I mean? Yeah. My Super Bowl champ was the Chiefs. I said that. Chiefs.
You see that backwards pass he had in the preseason game?
He's ridiculous.
That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
He's just, man. I didn't even want to bring him up today.
So boring,
and he is.
NFL is so boring, man.
He is, bro. Like, I can't even put into words what he is, bro. That's what I don't even. That's why this football season is like, it's Chiefs for me, bro. Because like his worst season, I just wanted to put this. I was looking at some of his numbers. Patrick Mahomes' worst season in the NFL is 12 wins and an AFC Championship loss.
All right, hold on, guys. I got to pause. I got major news.
Yeah,
major news. We have a dinner Friday night at Barry's Steakhouse at the Circa at 5:30.
What time you getting in, Jay?
What time? Wait, no, I'm getting in Thursday.
This is Friday. Friday.
All right, we're good.
I get in Thursday.
Then we're good.
Major news came right across the ticker.
Yeah, I already had it on the text. I was supposed to get a head count. I didn't do it.
Barry's
old
Steakhouse.
News. It's old news.
Well, it's just saying. But the other, Ruth didn't know. Jay didn't know. You didn't announce it to them. You're just saving it all for yourself.
No, it's gonna wait till after the show. Put it together.
It's breaking news. But you get the news first. That's so I get it.
They have like a s'mores dessert there. That's kind of the best thing I got.
I had this dessert.
Hold on. You guys, okay? Give me a sec. I'll be back.
This dessert that I had the other night it's called the Ruxton Steakhouse in Baltimore. It's called the butter cake with a scoop of ice cream on top. And it had this like
where did I have the butter cake?
It's the best butter cake that I've ever had. It has the strawberry shortcake, like the ice cream crumbles all over.
Costa goes out to eat more than anybody I know.
He does. Me too. I said it too.
I'm a weekend. I go out. It's date night. I go out on the weekend nights. Got to keep it fresh. Can't be door dashing Chick-fil-A. I don't even eat Chick-fil-A anymore. I don't eat chicken.
See, that's me. I just, just easy.
I'll say Costa goes out to eat more than anybody I know. I'll leave it at that. It's not good or bad. It is what it is.
You're not wrong.
I forget what I had at Barry's Steakhouse last time.
I've never been, so I'm excited.
I can't remember what I had. The nice thing is they'll have TVs. We'll be able to watch the game. Also, the game.
It's Friday night. Well, no, we'll be. What time is the game in Brazil?
That time, 5:30.
It's at
5:30?
6. It's at 6.
5:30 Eastern or 5:30 Pacific?
I think it's at 6. So I think it's at 4 Vegas time. I think is what time the game is. 4 Vegas time.
I'm fine with it.
Well, maybe we should just do a dinner a little later after the game.
No. It gets too late.
7:30?
Nah. I'm with Mike.
It's at 5:15 Vegas time.
Yeah, I'm with Micah, man. Get it over with.
The game's at 5:15 Vegas time.
Whatever.
Figure it out. Bring my iPad. Watch our game at the table. Peacock.
It's a Peacock game.
Probably something like that. NFL bullshit. Peacock, Amazon, whatever the hell it is, man. Okay. Who's up? What do we got?
Yeah.
Next
The
set.
Friday game's on Peacock.
We got the Padres and the Twins, and the A's, the Rays, White Sox, Giants, Dodgers, Woos.
Who?
Woo.
Who?
Woo. Cost Europe.
And we're doing all 4.
Yep.
Okay.
We're at an hour. We're at an hour, and so 10 games scheduled. So.
This Minnesota San Diego game is really, really tight. I just couldn't come up with a side. I mean, I like San Diego and how King's been pitching. I just think 160's overvalued. I know San Diego's been playing extremely well, but so have the Twins. I didn't really find an angle on this one. I mean, you guys might. I'm just being dead honest. I didn't have an angle in this one. If anything, I'd like the plus side, but I think this could be a King game where they win 4-2, 3-2. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Both pitchers have been playing really well. Small lean on Minnesota and the plus money. Like I said, 50-50 game. I like the plus money in my back pocket, but it's tough to go against San Diego right now. They're playing extremely well. But Minnesota has been also. I'll take Minnesota plus money. In the next game, Tampa Bay has owned the A's over their last 10. Taj Bradley, I like what I'm seeing out of him. I know Oakland's been playing relatively decent, but I like Tampa Bay here. Short favorite price on the road. And then I'm going to take a flyer. I actually bet this game with my White Sox plus money. Not impressed with Kyle Harrison. This is a game that the White Sox can win, and they've done it before, and it's plus 200. Like I said, if I lose, big deal. I lose even money when I win because I've done this a lot throughout the year with huge underdogs. I'm getting that plus money in my back pocket. Analytically, there's not much you're going to find that's going to say the White Sox should win this game, from their bats to their relief to their horrible relief or starting pitching. But I like the matchup. Righty versus lefty in this one. I think that the White Sox hit lefties just a little bit better than they have righties this year, and I like that plus 207 price. And in the last one, I'm not fading my boy because you know who it is. Who?
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 A birdie told me this morning there's a really sharp group that came out with the Dodgers to win the game. This sharp group is horrific. Let me explain to you. They're the complete opposite of a sharp group. What do you call a sharp group that's not a sharp group, Mitch? What's a reverse of a sharp? Square. This group is as square as they come, and they love the Dodgers. So it just gave me even more affirmation that my Seattle Mariners and my favorite bit on the baseball season, Mr. Woo, Seattle plus price, plus money. The anti-sharps.
Who?
Woo. It's got to be. It's my favorite bit.
Oh my God, that's just funny.
Who?
That'll never get old.
Who came up with that one?
I think it was just me and Mitch one day just messing around, bro.
I think we all just did, yeah.
Yeah, we was just
We were all just throwing out different woos. Like one of us did like the Ric Flair woo.
Woo.
One of us.
Woo! That's a Ric Flair. This is just a woo. Like it's very subtle.
I thought they all
Very, yeah. Costy's is very subdued. Costy's woo is just like woo.
That was a
Woo.
burp, Proof. That wasn't a woo.
Woo. Woo.
Well, I speak Ukrainian, so I have
Woo.
this really deep, like the
No.
R's.
Woo.
Ты понимаешь, что я говорю?
What did you just call me?
I said, do you understand what I'm saying?
No. Well, now I do.
Yeah. Who?
I like the Giants easy layup. I'm gonna roll with the yeah. I just think Harrison is just far better, and Giants find a way, but just tough to lay the run line with some of these teams. Same thing with the Padres. King's been just exceptional this season. I think he's a good reason why the Padres are where they are. He's just pitched well and consistently all season. Matthews, seen him once this season. He's just 8th round pick, guy, a reliever turned starter. Never really 100% sure as to what we're going to see. Normally I would go for the value, but the Padres are just so damn hot. I wouldn't go against them. I'm going to roll with the A's against the Rays. Game 1 of a series on the road. A's all day, twice on Monday. And I'll take the Dodgers against the Mariners. Mariners and the Orioles are pretty much the same team to me. Crap. Jake?
Rays game 1 on the road.
Took the Dodgers, Mitch?
Yep.
Take
Mariners are ass, man. They're terrible.
They are ass. They are ass.
You're riding the anti-sharps?
I would take the Dodgers any day of the week over the Mariners. The Mariners are just they're shitbags.
Okay.
10-game lead, man. Now they're 5 games back. Basically, it's over. It's over, and it's all done. They did it to themselves. They had so many chances, man, and could not get it done.
We knew that was going to happen. We called it to a T.
They've covered the run line 5 in a row against the Mariners, plus they're home. So change it to Dodgers run line plus the 150. Even though the square letter says to take the Dodgers, the thing about the square letter, they did get the last time they won was last Monday when they took the under in the Snell-Sale matchup in San Francisco, which was about the squares play on the board.
Squares win sometimes too. I say that all the time.
Sale Snell under, is about squares against. Ruffalo love that under.
Squares win too. Sometimes.
No, they win sometimes. It's just not consistently.
Yep. Give me the
no one wins all the time, except for me.
Yeah, except for you.
I don't believe me. I wish I won all the time.
That was so sneaky.
I had the D-backs and the Twins yesterday. I lost both of them.
Good for you.
I had my guts ripped out. And the D-backs could have just lost. And the Red Sox, man, had bases loaded also. And the guy pops out to the catcher, foul ball, to pop out to the catcher with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Had him reeling, man. They were reeling.
How about my boy going toe to toe with Snellzilla, and then goddamn Jimenez come out there and just give it up, trash ass, bro. Still hashtag Team JP, man. Shout out JP. Look, I'm taking the A's though. I gotta fade the Rays on the road first game. I do like Bradley. I'm not in love with Boyle, but it gotta be done. I like the Rays mainly in the Trop. I think for the remainder of the season on the road, that's when you're mainly going to be able to fade them. At home, they're going to be some spots where you can definitely make some money with them. I just don't like the spot for them today. Give me Oakland. Giants, White Sox is just a pass for me. Don't like the game. I will take the Twins. You almost never hear me say no shit like that, but I'll take the Twins today and fade the Padres. I think this is a legitimate 50-50 game, and I'll attack the plus money. And I like fading teams coming out of the Rockies. You feel me? I'm saying I told y'all them Rockies was going to win the series, bro. I told y'all. A lot of people laughed at me. They called me an idiot.
I think there was another series that you picked, the Rockies, last week, where they got absolutely skunked. I think it was the Giants.
It was the Giants series. It was a Giants series. But called this one. So shout out to them. But here, I think the Padres. I'm not just going to blindly fade Padres the rest of the season. You know what I mean? Mitch was right about them. They're going to be in the mix of things here coming down the stretch. I still think they're overvalued. I probably lost my bet to Romanelli. Maybe not, though, but probably. But today in this game, I hate the Twins. I hate them. But in this plus money spot, I would look at in their direction. And then give me an under. Mariners, Dodgers. It just got to be done. Mariners bats, they scored 10 runs yesterday, so you mean they probably got 1 today. And then Woo's on the mound, who has a 2 some ERA. Woo. What do you got? A 2.06? Sheesh.
He pitches like 3 innings, man.
I know. But he's that dude. I'm gonna take the under here in this game. I don't necessarily see either team just lighting up the scoreboard. So under for me, Mariners, Dodgers close out today.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Dodgers here. I like Brian Wu as much as the next person, but hard to win games when you're not scoring runs. And I think the Mariners are going to struggle here. This offense has fallen off a cliff over the last 2 months since they've lost the division lead to the Astros. So give me the Dodgers in that one. Padres, Twins, I'm going to take the under 7.5 or under 7. Michael King, sub-2 ERA in his last 7 starts. Matthews looked good in his debut. He had a ERA under 2 in a bunch of levels, in the minors this season. So I think he's got some solid stuff here. I think it's a low-scoring game. And with Jay, I think the bats for the Padres coming out of the Rockies series, at least in game 1, probably going to be a little bit slow here. So give me the under 7. I'm going to take the Oakland A's as well. Just a fade of Taj Bradley, fade of the Tampa Bay Rays. And White Sox, Giants, I'm going to take the under 8. I think it's just a low-scoring game. White Sox struggling mightily against lefties, but Jonathan Cannon's probably one of the better options the White Sox still have left. So give me the under 8 in that one.
That's it. Is there a WNBA?
No WNBA today. I was kind of surprised.
All right. Parlay time.
We'll be back with the dub tomorrow, though. The W back tomorrow. But for now, parlay. Franchise player, lead us off.
All right. Give me the under White Sox, Giants, under Padres, Twins, and the Oakland A's.
All righty. Houston, Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Mine is fading Costi, and mine is just going to be I'm a hater parlay. Fading the O's because I hate them. I'm taking the Mets. I'm fading the Royals because they're ass and they're due for some regression. I'm taking the Angels. And hashtag dirty water. Hashtag fuck the Astros. 3-team.
Giants, Padres, A's, and Dodgers for me. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. Appreciate each and every one of you. We'll be back tomorrow. My schedule's really filling up. I don't think I'll be a 5-day-a-week guy anymore, so we'll see what happens. But whatever it all works out, we'll always find a way. So I'm just telling you guys how it is. See you tomorrow. Make it a winning day. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.